This is an updated story, make sure to watch the other video as well. You can find the link in the description. My long poops helped me catch my cheating ex. Tldr at the bottom. This is a very long post. I guess you can call this a literal shitpost. I, 21M, found out my ex, 20F, cheated on me because I took a long poo. Yes, a long poo. I feel like I need to provide backstory on my long poos now. I'm not some dude that just sits on the toilet for an extended period of time to be on his phone or reading the newspaper. I genuinely just take a long time because I want to be sure I'm done. It started when I was little kid. I'd take a poo, wipe a few times, flush, go about my day. Only problem was I'd usually go back in about 10 to 20 minutes later to poo again. I had no problem with this, I was a kid, it's not like I had anywhere to be. My mom married a Muslim when I was about 10, and every year we'd partake in Ramadan. I absolutely hated it. Albeit I didn't have to fast as long as my parents did, but I didn't like to starve. Apart from the fasting we'd pray, but before doing so my dad would say we have to clean ourselves. We'd wash our feet, hands, face. I don't remember why. The thing is my dad was really strict on the whole cleaning thing. I never noticed it, but it was almost like he had a phobia of not being clean, and I never noticed it until I realized he would shower after every time he would poo. I remember asking him why he would do that, and he told me, because there's always some dry poo in your butt after you wipe, so you clean in the shower. That's when it hit me. I have been a dirty ass MF for over 10 years of my life. So I did the same thing he would do, shower after I pooed. My problem was I'd poo for a good 10 minutes, shower, and boom. Have the urge to shit again. It fucking sucked because it'd already be cleaning my ass and there I go soaking wet sitting on the toilet again just to drop another doo. After the first month I was absolutely fucking done with my body. I took what everyone in my house hated, long poos. I'd have to shit when someone else wanted to use the bathroom and they'd ask me, "Are you about to poo?" And they'd usually smack their lips and complain because I take damn near 30 to 40 minutes to poo and then another 20 just to shower. I'd feel bad and usually just let them go first. And that's pretty much it on why I take long poos. There. Onto the cheating part. I met my ex on chat roulette when I was about 16. Yes, chat fucking roulette. She was 15 and my fucking gosh was she drop dead gorgeous. We clicked hard. The chemistry was so good, so we exchanged Snapchats. Our conversation started off steamy as hell. We were both very horny even though I had only had sex once by that time and she was still a virgin, but hormones are hormones. We talked about sneaking into each other's houses and just fucking the night away or whatever we thought sex really was at the time. The best part of the whole thing was she was only an hour away. We would talk literally every day and FaceTime every night, falling asleep to each other's faces. She was everything I thought about. I fell for her quick. We saw each other for the first time, maybe a month after we met? Yeah. I'd take our local transit to see her. I had just gotten a job at the time, so I thought, yeah, I'll use to take my ass to see her. Our relationship quickly turned sour. She was a very bad liar and my intuition was really good at telling me something wasn't right. There's a lot of shit that went down over the course of 4 years. It was a toxic on and off relationship till ultimately we broke it off for good. Fast forward to this year, I'm 21, she's 20 and we reconnected after being apart for a year. It was very sensitive, but I had done a lot of self-reflection, and healing over the course of the year. Therapy had done me wonders. I would like to consider myself a different person from what I used to be. When we met to talk it out, seeing her again was scary. All the thoughts about us getting back together came flooding my mind and I was just in awe to see her again. It was a good night. We got closure and slowly we got the ball rolling. After a month of talking, and stuff, she moved in with me. Yes, I know, a month? But with the history we had, the time apart, and the healing, it felt right. And my God, it was so healthy. I moved out of my mom's place during that time my ex and I were apart. It wasn't the best of places, but it was mine and I could afford it with the money I make. I love it here. It's my home. Anyway, she moves in, about a week to settle in. She didn't bring much, a few boxes and her TV, left her dog with her parents since my manager doesn't allow pets. It was perfect. We had some minor fights here and there. Valentine's Day was perfect. We'd have sex almost every day. Go on dates once a week. Had our time for ourselves to go out with friends and work. You could say we were in routine and basically a stereotypical married couple. Now, 2 days ago. I was home, had the day off, so I spent it just playing video games waiting for my ex to come home from work, or so I thought. She hadn't responded to my text of, "When you comin' home?" I know the place she works at closes at 7:30 on weekdays, it was 8. The drive to work from home is only about 25 minutes. I figured she might have caught traffic due to a car crash or something, but I felt like she wouldn't texted back if something came up. It was 9 and still no response. As I was about to double text, bam! There she is walking through the door. I asked why she didn't respond to my text, gave me a BS answer of, "My phone died." And I said, "The message sent though." She was quick to answer with, "I was about to respond when it died. I was gonna tell you my boss wanted me to stay to help housekeep the store and he'd pay me overtime, so I took it. I thought nothing of it." She kissed me, went to the kitchen for grub, and I went back to playing video games. It's almost 11 and we were about to go to bed when I had the urge to poo. Yeah. Remember that? As I was headed to the bathroom, she asks me if I was going to shit. I told her yes, and she threw probably the whiniest little fit I had ever seen her throw. It was one of those cute little things she'd do whenever she wanted me to spend time with her, but I'd have to do something. She'd done this a few times during the 4 years we were together, except this time she got mad. She started saying that I spent too much time to shit and that it genuinely irked her. I thought she was joking at first, but she continued, saying it was one of the things I hate about you. I was in, oh, face. I just stood there at the doorway of my bathroom staring at cuz I was in shock. She stormed into the room and literally fucking slammed the door. I was so confused at WTF just happened. It was completely out of nowhere, and I was like, in shock. I was sitting on the toilet thinking what in the fuck what that was all about. Thinking it might be that time of the month or something, or maybe she was just sex deprived because we hadn't had sex in a couple days. That's genuinely what I thought. I was contemplating on what to do, talk to her or assume it was just dick withdrawals and give her the pipe. I finish my shit and shower, get ready for bed, and she was just lying there on her side of the bed facing the wall. I tried to touch and rejected me. I rolled my eyes and figured she's just playing that petty princess shit she does. I proceeded, kissing her neck and rubbing her. She released a big sigh and the fucking jocks me with her elbow. Me. WTF, is your problem? Her. You're my problem. Me. Are you for real pissed because I just went to shit and shower? Her. Yes. At this point I think she's going extra petty princess or whatever because I know that the reason was ridiculous. So I tried baby talking and sexy talking. Me. My lil baby is sad? Her. Fuck off. Me. Aw, someone hasn't gotten it, I think they're mad. Her. No. Me. I think so. So then I lean in and start whispering in her ear, that she wanted it bad. And she yelled at me saying, no. Fuck off. I froze. She turned back around, said, good night. I sat there, and I had the worst fucking gut feeling in the world. My intuition told me something is very wrong and it's not with me. In a matter of seconds I put it all together. She wasn't mad that I went to shit and shower, she was using my long poo as a cover for something else. Something was in the cards that we were going to have sex just because we hadn't the last couple days. We're a very horny couple and it was weird if we went more than 2 days without doing it. So my intuition told me that she doesn't want to have sex, not because I took a long poo, but because she had sex with someone else. I snapped. I told her to take off her pants. Her. What the fuck? No. Me. Take your fucking pants off or I will kick you out the fucking house, now. I know you're probably like, dude, WTF. You're toxic ASF. But hear me out, my intuition, during the 4 years we were together, were never wrong. Even when it came to other shit that didn't involve her, it was always right. It never failed me. I've always seen it as divine protection. I know this doesn't justify my actions to do this damn near sounds rapey. But I did it this way and what happened happened. Her. I don't want to have sex. Me. Oh, it's not for sex, I just need to see your pussy. Her. What the fuck? What? You're gonna fucking rape me? Me. No. This isn't the part you fucking try to deflect. For starters, you don't even wear pants to sleep, you sleep in your underwear. You've been doing this since you've moved in. Her. Yeah, it's fucking hot tonight. Me. Show me the fucking stains on your underwear. She choked. I'll admit the stains on the underwear was a long shot, but it landed dead center of the target. She'd had sex with people before unprotected, and I figured that would have never changed. She liked it raw regardless of the potential health consequences. Her. What? Me. Show me your fucking pussy. Her name. Her. Why? Me. Because I need to see it. At this point I calmed down, but I'm visibly shaking. My anxiety was through the roof. Her. Please don't do this. Me. I need you to show me. At this point she knew I knew something and she starts to tear up. Her. I don't want to. Me. I need you to leave. Her. No, I don't want to, please. Let's just go to bed. Me. Her name, if you don't, I'm gonna call your parents to pick you up. Anyway, we go at it back and forth for about a couple minutes and we're both just a crying mess, but eventually she takes them off. And there it was. My heart fucking shattered. The smell of sex fucking slaps me across the face, and I could see there were obvious cum stains on her underwear that could not be mistaken for discharge. Her pussy was still even a little wet from hours ago of being railed in the back of her coworker's car. I say this because she told me she had sex with him as she was taking them off. I don't know fucking why she didn't think to shower and change when she got home. I think she was still riding high from it. After a few seconds of processing it, I just stared at her, red-eyed poker face as she looked down at herself ashamed. I said nothing and we sat there for what felt like hours, even thought it was only a few minutes. I felt my heart putting itself back together, and my tears drying up. I was fine. It stopped hurting. I don't know what it was. I was breathing normally, and I spoke. I said, "Hey," and I reached for her face. "It's okay," and she broke down crying even harder than before, but I felt nothing. It was like the pain I was just feeling vanished. I tried to kindly shush her down, telling her it was okay, that she didn't need to cry anymore. She kept trying to tell me how sorry she was and that it was stupid and that she'll never do it again and that she'll quit her job and yada yada yada. I just kept telling her everything will be fine. It took a bit of time, but eventually I coddled her to sleep while she was crying. After she went to sleep at about maybe 1 in the morning, I had the most peaceful sleep on my rusty couch after setting my alarm to 8:30 am. I wake up to see her still asleep, and I start preparing breakfast. I love to cook. She wakes up at around 9:30 am to take her BC, and she comes to the kitchen to find me waiting for her with French toast, bacon, and over-easy eggs set on the table. I timed it just right for when she woke up and the food was still warm enough to eat. She looked like a mess. Puffy eyes, scrappy hair, a short rugged shirt, and I even noticed she put fresh underwear on, assuming she cleaned herself. I told her to sit and eat in a sincere manner. She looked like she was about to cry again already. I started eating and asked her what her plan for the day was. Like last night didn't happen. And then the waterworks started up again as she took the first bite of her food. She said, "What are you doing to me?" I told her I wasn't doing anything, that I just made breakfast for us before I head to work. That was a lie. I had gotten the day off work after texting my boss what happened and that I really needed the day. They surprisingly responded very quickly and said that they understood and told me to do what I need to do. She asked if we were going to talk about it. Me. No, it's okay, I'm over it. Her. What? Me. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. She tried to get me to say something about what happened last night and I got up, looked her dead in the eye and in the most caring way possible said, "Drop it, okay?" She was slightly crying and eating her food and I cleaned up the kitchen. When she was done she brought her plate to the sink as I was almost done washing dishes and she embraced me from behind wiping her face on my shirt. I turned around and hugged her. I asked her what she was gonna do for the day and she said she was gonna quit her job. I told her not to, but she said that she wanted me to trust her, that she would never do anything like that ever again. But I insisted that she needed that job as she needs the money because I couldn't help pay for things she needed. She asked me if I was sure. For what I was about to do. Yes, I was sure. She proceeded to try to reassure me that she'd cut all contact with the coworker and that she'll strictly only talk to him at work. I said okay. Then she continued on about how she'll give me all her passwords or whatever, and I told her that she didn't have to, but she pleaded me that I'd let her. I think this was all just a way to get her to feel better about herself. Before I left, she begged that we'd talk about it after we both got home because she wants to know what was going through my mind and how I was taking it so well. I told her okay. She said I love you right before I walked out the door. I didn't say it back. I left the house at around 10:30 for work, and she left the house at 11:30 since she worked at 12. I parked a bit a ways from my apartment. I know I've said house, it's just easier to call it that, but it's an apartment, far enough to be seen, but close enough to watch cars leave. After I see her car leave the complex, I race to nearest Home Depot and buy a few moving boxes. Get home and all up my best friend catch her up. She races over to my place to help me. The moment she steps in, she embraces me asking me if I am okay. I told her I was honestly fine, and that I was just done. We both start neatly packing her things, getting everything in my car and hers, and drive up to my ex's parents' house, which wasn't as far as it used to be. I didn't think to call them, I just acted. I knock on the door and my ex's dad answers the door confused. I knew he was a stay-at-home dad, as to why I was there and his daughter wasn't. I got him up to speed as to what went down. He wasn't surprised. He completely understood and was willing to take her stuff in. I told him I wasn't mad or anything, that I genuinely was okay, I was just done. I get home and realized I forgot her fucking TV, so I made a second trip to drop it off. My ex texts me on her break asking me how I was. I told her I was good but a little busy at work at the moment. Said I was off soon and if she could call me right when she was off work. She said okay. I spent the rest of my day with my BF just doing my normal shit because, well, I was dead ass fine. We watched a movie and every once in a while my BF would ask me if I was good. I'd laugh it off reassuring her that I was. My ex calls me at around 7:35-ish, pretty much when she got off work, and said she was coming home. I told her to meet me at her parents' house and she panicked, asking me why. I told her everything was fine and that she'd just meet me at her parents' house. I don't think she realized my apartment key was missing from her carabiner till she got to her parents' house. I had taken it back that morning. Anyway, I blocked her on everything. I got quite the many phone calls from unknown number and countless messages from VZNNW on Instagram. But I deleted them all and just proceeded to completely shut her out of my life. I haven't heard anything from my ex's dad or mom. I got calls from my mom asking me WTF happened because she was receiving spam messages from my ex. I got her up to speed and pretty much anyone else I knew that knew my ex. Told them to just pretty much ignore her and let her know that I will no longer be participating in her life, nor will she in mine. And that's that. This took me damn near 2 hours to type holy shit. My BF told me I should take it to Reddit. I happily agreed, so here I am, telling you my story. I know it's long and a complete, but I don't know what to tell you. I'm honestly okay. I don't know why, but I'm not hurt at all. I got over it so fast it's kind of scary to think about. It's like someone grabbed all that pain I felt the moment I found out and just threw it away. Don't get me wrong, it's still very fresh in mind and I can't stop thinking about how good we were and how blindsided I was by this, but overall I'm happy. I'm glad I didn't waste any more time with her, and I'm glad I feel the way I do right now. I don't want to be hurting over this shit. I got 60-ish more years to live. I don't want to waste any chunk of it dwelling on how she cheated on me. Good riddance. TLDR. I take long poops and my ex threw a fake fit about it. My intuition told me there was something else and I trusted it. Confronted her, she came clean and I calmly packed her stuff while she was at work and dropped it off at her parents' home. Update. Wanted to say a few things before the update. TLDR is at the bottom. Thank you to those that validated my story. It genuinely meant a lot to me, especially now that I'm going through the motions. I also want to thank those that messaged me with support even though at the time I felt like I didn't need it. Because I made the original post so creative writing-y to make it funner to read. Or whatever, I'll just be going straight through this update, no fancy storytelling here to calm the disbelievers down. Update. I got tested. I am clean. Insert yay emoji here. To the nurses, medical professionals that advised me to not take long poops. I'm taking shorter poops now LMAO. And to those that advised me to get a bidet. I got one smiley face. Which is why I'm taking shorter poops lol. As for my ex, we talked. She was at my door when I got off of work a couple days after I made my post. She's not a Reddit user to my knowledge, so I don't think she saw it. I don't know how long she was waiting there for. I didn't ask. She asked if we could talk, and I didn't say anything. I just opened the door and waved her in. Told her to wait on the couch. She was obedient, I guess you could say. Like, she knew she was in no place to argue. Got us waters and told her I was ready. She wanted to explain why she did it, but I told her no, that I really didn't want to know, and I meant that. I still do. She talked about how her dad hasn't spoken to her at all except for a few words at times, and that she feels like I turned him against her. I explained to her I didn't say anything to him except for what she did. Her mom is acting like nothing happened. I am pretty sure dad told her about us. Only when my ex breaks down about it does she comfort her. Other than that, they don't talk to her about this whole situation. She said it was fucked up about how I handled the whole thing, and NGL that got me heated, but I kept my mouth shut. That I tricked her into thinking we were going to be okay, and that she felt like I could have at least been honest with her. I threw a petty jab and said, "You mean like you when you were hiding the fact that you fucked, CW." It was silent for a moment and she apologized. I asked her what she was doing here and what the purpose of this talk was. She wanted to know if this was really it. Yes, it is. She asked if there would ever be a chance of reconciliation in the future when she's got her shit together and if we're both single. I said that by that time there'd be no point in reconciliation because we'd be over it. It was starting to sink in. I could feel that she was realizing she completely lost me, and I kid you not, she said, "Do you want to do it one last time?" We laughed. Told her I think she should go. Walked her out and I said something like this: "I'll always have love for you, but I think we're both on completely different paths. I think we got confused about it at some point and thought it'd be nice to revisit this. I'm sorry it has to be this way. Please don't reach out again." I closed the door and I cried. It finally hit me. I think it was like the final goodbye that put me in the feeling, I don't know. I called my best friend, told her what happened, and that was it. I'm still feeling it. The loneliness has settled in. Her scent has finally left my room, and I look around to see that it really is over. Shit sucks, man. I know I'll get over it at some point. I gotta let it take its course. I did hop on Tldr though. Talking to people is quite nice. The bidet is also quite nice. LMAO. I'm trying my hardest not to stalk her socials to see if she's miserable. That's pretty much it. Oh. For those specific comments on the OG post, I apologized for the whole "take off your pants" thing, that it wasn't okay for me to do shit like that even if I was mad. She understood. Yeah. Now that's it. TLDR. X and I talked, nothing eventful happened. We went our separate ways again, and I'm now sad. This is an updated story. Make sure to watch the other video as well. You can find the link in the description. Do you like this Reddit cheating story? Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel.